What's up, you guys? It's Aisling. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing first impressions on a foundation. The foundation that I want to discuss is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. I thought that I had used this foundation before, like previously over the years, because you guys know that the L'Oreal Infallible is like my all-time holy grail favorite foundation from the drugstore, and I kind of like found like other foundations in the meantime and kind of forgot about it. But when Fresh Wear came out, I was like, oh, that's the same foundation. You guys told me it was different and I was like, oh, okay, it's a different formula. Basically, this is a more lightweight formula foundation than the original Infallible, which looks exactly like this. Comes in the same bottle, same lid, same everything, but it's just not Fresh Wear. And if you don't live in Ireland or the UK, it comes in like, I think, a squeezy tube. I purchased this last month and I keep meaning to do a first impressions on it. I also picked up their new Infallible More Than Concealer and I'm dying to try this as well. So I have both these products here today. I'm just going to look up the claims on the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear just so I can give you a little bit of a background. Okay, so online this has a 4.5 star rating out of 5, which is pretty impressive for a foundation, especially since it has like over 2,000 reviews. So this foundation retails for $13.99 and that's on the Boots website. I bought this off Superdrug and I think I got this for like €13, so it's in around the same price. This is a full coverage foundation. It's transfer proof, life proof, party proof and waterproof, so you get more from your makeup. With this Fresh Wear foundation, long wear no longer means thick and heavy coverage. The innovative oxygen technology gives it a lightweight feel, whilst the ultra stretchable formula ensures full coverage application. It comes in 26 shades. It's weightless feel, formula that lasts up to 24 hours, no compromise, full coverage base. It doesn't say whether it's suitable for oily skin or dry skin. I have oily skin and at the moment it's quite oily. I mean, like even touching it now, I probably shouldn't be touching it. I just washed my face this morning and put on my moisturizer, but it is quite oily. So I'm going to apply this foundation and do this wear test like I do every wear test, which is prime one side of my face, not prime the other, and we're going to use a brush on one side and a beauty blender on the other. Okay, so on this side I'm going to prime and I'm going to take my new favorite primer, which is the Revolution Pore Blur Primer, and this is just really great for oily skin. If you have oily skin, you will love this. It reminds me tons of the Professional from Benefit. Like, it is almost like an identical formula, but it is like a fraction of the price. So I'm just going to apply that all over. I already have my eyebrows filled in. You can probably already see that. I'm going to take a brush on this side, I think, and then we're going to go in with the beauty blender on this side. I'm in the shade 140, which is also called Golden Beige, just if you're wondering, because I know the shades are different in the US. It's a lot runnier than the original L'Oreal Infallible foundation. This is definitely a lot more runny. So I'm just going to go and stipple this on this side of my face. That is really full coverage. I have like the most mahoosive spot right here and it's like really gross and vile and it's just covered it up. I was out over the weekend. Anytime I have any sort of alcohol, it just breaks out my skin really badly. So far, this is reminding me a lot of the original Infallible foundation. Like, I'm getting the complete and utter same vibes from it. It feels so lightweight on the skin. It's just a little bit runnier, so it's even more lightweight if that's possible. So I'm just going to apply the beauty blender on this side. If I didn't mention, the foundation brush I'm using is the Sigma F80. It's the one I use all the time when I do my first impressions. Okay, right off the bat, I'm getting a lot more coverage from the brush side. I don't know if that's just got to do with the fact that this is a lot more of a liquidy foundation. I'm using also a lot more foundation. But I feel like a sponge or a beauty blender often like sucks up the product. Especially if it's a liquidy product, it kind of absorbs into the sponge. I also have to use a lot more foundation. So when I apply this foundation again, I will definitely be doing the technique that I'm used to at the moment, which is applying my foundation with a flat brush and then going in with my beauty blender and just blending the life out of it. Definitely needed a lot more foundation on this side. The other thing I want to say is the original Infallible foundation used to oxidize a lot on my skin. I'm not finding that with this foundation. I feel like this foundation is kind of like true to form, like what you see is what you get. It is oxidizing ever so slightly, like the tiniest amount, but not as much as the original Infallible. So just do be aware of that. Like, if you are like trying to get your perfect match, perhaps put a little bit on the back of your hand if you have testers in your country. I know that you can test foundation in Ireland really easily, but I don't think you can as much in the US. But definitely put it on the back of your hand and, or, you know, test it on your jawline. Maybe like walk around the shop and let it kind of sink into the skin and oxidize a little bit, because I do feel like it oxidizes maybe a shade darker, but the original Infallible used to oxidize a lot more. Like, I mean, so much more. Currently the time is 9:38, so I'm going to try and wear this for as long as possible and see how we get on with it. I am very, very happy with the appearance of it right now, and it feels, like I said, lightweight. If you have drier skin, I would say you don't even need to set this, because for me this is not like tacky, and that's kind of unusual. Usually, you know, a liquid foundation kind of feels wet on the skin. This feels almost like it's set already. Like, it feels kind of powdery on my skin. We're going to apply the concealer next. This has been described as a concealer similar to the Makeup Revolution, the Conceal and Define concealer. It has, a massive doe foot wand. Well, not massive, but it's a lot bigger than the original Infallible concealer. So I'm going to apply this underneath my eye. This is a lot, oh my god, this is a lot thicker of a consistency than I was expecting. Think of like Tarte Shape Tape, or yeah, the Conceal and Define from Makeup Revolution. I also got the shade Latte, just if you're wondering. So I'm just going to blend that in. I quite like that concealer. This concealer is $11.99 as well, just if you're wondering, in Boots. I'm sure it's a lot more affordable in the US. I'm quite happy with that concealer. It's brightened up underneath my eyes. It is a little bit of a thicker consistency. Like, it's creasing a little bit on me already, and I haven't had it on that long, and yeah, I feel like I need to set this quite rapidly. It is creasing. That's kind of weird. So far, I'm loving the feel of this on my skin, but I'm going to come back to you in a little bit once I have the rest of my products on my face, and we'll discuss how everything else went on top of it. Wow, I can't talk today. Okay guys, I'm back for my first update, and it is 1:15. So I've had this foundation on for just shy of 4 hours. I just want to say that I really like the way all my products sat on top of my foundation. So what is on my eyes? I have the Sultry palette on my eyes. I used Fresh. I used Rose Quartz on the inner corner, Ember on my lid, Dystopian kind of on my outer corner, and Birch through my crease. I used the Makeup Revolution Vivid Bronzer as my bronzer today, and I used the Morphe palette as my blush. So I used a mix of these two colours here. Sophie by Makeup Revolution highlighter. And on my lips, I'm wearing the Prettiest Pink liquid lipstick from Pixie. I was like, who makes that? I'm really, really, really liking it. I think it looks amazing on my skin. I would say that this looks like my skin, only better. It doesn't look heavy or cakey or like very foundation-y. That's like possibly the oddest thing to say, but you guys know what I'm saying. It doesn't look like I'm caked in foundation. I put my powder on top and it went on lovely. Everything is sitting on my skin so well, and 4 hours in, my skin looks fantastic. I don't know if I like it as much as the original foundation, but I definitely prefer the feeling of it on my skin, where it's so lightweight. Like, it does not feel like I'm wearing anything on my skin, if that makes any sense. When I'm not filming, I don't wear makeup that often, so when I do wear foundation, I can tell if it's heavy or not, and this is very lightweight. Doesn't feel like anything. It kind of feels like you're wearing a moisturizer or something on your skin, you know, when there is a product on your skin, but it's just not thick and heavy. But I'm also loving the coverage from it, so I feel like I'm getting a very high coverage foundation with very lightweight feel. I think Freshwear is the perfect word to describe this foundation. That's all I have to say at this point in the day, guys. I'm gonna go about my day. I'll come back to you later and see what we're thinking. So check in, which is in a little while. For my 8-hour update, it is currently 5:36. Yeah, 5:36. So we are wearing this foundation for 8 hours now, and I'm actually shook. Okay, we're very bright now, but at least you can see me a bit better. So I want to, let me see, update you guys on the wear of the foundation. Also, are we loving the fact that my lip product is still on 8 hours into the day? Because, well, it's probably like 7 hours. First off, loving how it's looking. Loving it. I am shook to my core. It looks sensational on my skin. Looks really, really good, in fact. We have no major like updates, like primed, unprimed side, not noticing massive difference. Foundation is still intact everywhere. It hasn't worn away or anything like that. Let me see, what else do I want to say about it? I think it looks really fresh on my skin and really nice. It's sitting well on my skin. It's not sinking into any fine lines. There is no oiliness, guys. No oiliness at all. Hallelujah. Which is amazing. And 8 hours into the day, I would expect to be quite oily. I am noticing that the foundation does feel a little bit heavier than it did earlier, but like not majorly heavy. Like, I can definitely now feel I am wearing foundation, but nothing crazy. I am noticing, however, that the concealer is not my favorite. The concealer has creased super bad on me, and I'm looking at it underneath my eyes and it's sunk into my fine lines, and I don't really have a major issue with concealer sinking into my fine lines underneath my eyes. Like, I really don't. We all have little fine lines underneath our eyes, but I would stay clear of this if creasing is a major issue for you, because I'm noticing the creasing already. Well, 8 hours in, it's not like majorly bad, but my under eye area doesn't look as fresh as I like. It's not looking the cutest. I just edited a video with me wearing this makeup, and in the video I was like, wow, my under eye area does not look cute at all. Like, first impressions of it, not feeling it. The foundation, on the other hand, looks incredible, and I'm already getting comments on that video that I put up that you guys are loving my foundation on my skin. So that's definitely a good thing. I really feel like this foundation is wearing well on my skin, and like I said, it's keeping my oils back, and the appearance of it is fantastic. I'm going to zoom up for you guys so you can see a little bit up closer. I hope that's close enough. I have been touching my face. I was on the phone for ages as well, so I feel like my foundation should be kind of like worn off here where the foam was sitting, but it's still intact. And it looks really good on my skin. Like, what else can I say about it? Guys, I'm really loving this foundation. I feel the exact same way about the Fresh Wear foundation as I did about the original Infallible. I think they're great. It looks fantastic on my skin. It feels lightweight. There's been no noticeable changes from the last time I talked to you guys to now, which is fabulous. I'm super excited about this foundation. I may have found a new holy grail, even though I knew the original Infallible was a holy grail, but now I think like I'm loving the Fresh Wear even more. So I'll come back to you guys at the 12-hour mark and we'll see what we're looking like then. Hopefully not oily. I'll chat to you guys in a bit. It's just gone 9:30, guys, and I'm done and dusted for the day. It's been a long day of filming. Usually when I do these foundation first impressions, they take all day. Normally. It's been 12 hours since I applied this foundation first. Okay, well, I'm definitely looking an awful lot oilier than I was when I did like my 8-hour update. I just thought I'd give you a little up close and personal just of the way my face is looking right now. So you can see that it is obviously a little bit oily. We are oily. There's nothing I can do about it. Mostly in here and in between my brows and my chin. The primed versus unprimed side, I am noticing just a little less dew on my skin, but nothing kind of crazy, and it hasn't really like help the whole situation that much. So if you don't prime, it's not going to be a major issue. It hasn't worn off around my nose. You can see the kind of little bit of wearing off on my jawline. I've been wearing my glasses and it hasn't transferred at all. You see where the concealer has creased on me. I mean, my under eyes look very crappy and I'm not feeling that. I'm not loving that life. I think this is one of the best foundations I've tried in the longest time. And I mean, I've tried like very high-end foundations. I mean, I tried a €60 foundation only 2 months ago. That was junk. And this is $13.99 and looks a bazillion times better on my skin. And it feels really fresh and lightweight and it just feels lovely on my skin. It looks so nice and I'm highly impressed with it. So number one pro would be that it is an affordable drugstore foundation. The second thing would be how lightweight that it feels on my skin. Also that it holds back my oils. Now that can also be a con if you're dry and you just feel like it's overly drying on your skin. But I haven't blotted or applied any powder onto my face since this morning when I did my foundation. So you can see that it looks incredible on my skin, even if I do say so myself. It hasn't caked up anywhere on me and it's not looking heavy anywhere. And to be quite fair, I am just really in love with this foundation. I do, however, have a lot of cons of the concealer. I feel like it is way too thick. And I also feel like it creases quite badly on me, so it would not be something I recommend. This foundation gets a massive 2 thumbs up from me. I highly rate it. I recommend for you guys to run out and buy it, try it yourself. I can't stress enough how much I love it and I can't recommend it enough to you guys. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say. I'm going to go home, go to bed now because I am extremely tired. Do let me know if you guys tried out the foundation, what you think of it. Do let me know if you've drier skin, if you've tried it, what you think of it. It'll help everybody out in the comment section as well. And if you have oily skin, what did you think of it? Because I know I was a little bit kind of wary. I was like, ooh, fresh skin. I don't know. That sounds like it's going to be a glowy consistency. It's not glowy at all. I feel like it's quite matte, in fact. And I feel the only kind of glow has come from my natural oils throughout the day. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I would love that. I really would. I will talk to all you guys in my next video. If you have any foundations you want me to try out, then let me know. Yeah, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I love you guys and I'll see you soon. Mwah! Bye guys.